Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm just wondering if you can see my screen on X and on YouTube. Let me just check. Yep, I think I can see. So I'm waiting for a couple of more minutes in between people can join in. So today I just wanted to show you a couple of things regarding the toss setup. And in case you have any questions, please feel free to post your questions. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Hi, Sandeep. Hi, Srini. Hi, Praveen. Hi, Pradeep. Hi, Ashish. Uh, so guys, I have done not very big changes into my toss setup, but I'm gonna wait for a couple of more minutes so that we can start on time, and then I'll do maybe a session later in the night with respect to the weekly analysis, or if we can finish this session in half an hour, I can do another session for weekly analysis right away. So this is my chart setup. So we can talk about the DMI, the range, the TTM squeeze, the overlay of DMI, and the restrict logs. Otherwise, everything else is same. And this has really helped me uh, to overcome the issues. Plus, I will also show you how to do a back test of your strategy and how you can actually uh, validate whether your logic is working or not working. All right. So let's see if people have joined in. Like people on X, you can give me a comment on there to confirm you're there. All right, I'll start. And again, guys, if you have any questions, if you have any clarifications, please feel free to ask right away so that I can answer it. So in my toss, I have these studies, which is moving exponential average for 12, for which I have used the color green because this is the fast average. So I'm using this to showcase green. Then I'm using the exponential average of 34, which is red in color, which you can see right here. It's red and green. Then this was a paid indicator, which is AM2. It's for supply and demand. You can ignore this. Then this is a DMI, which is to showcase this level on the top. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, 6 day. If you want to showcase your DMI, I've already shared the code for this, but if you want, I can share the code one more time. These are Ripster's average trading range. You can use the average trading range from ThinkorSwim and then code it to have a label. Or you can use, this is Ripster's cloud, which again, he's using 5, 12, 8, 9, 34, 50, 20, 21. I do not go into that much details. I'm only using as a visual indicator in my case. Then I have TTM squeeze, which you see right here. In the TTM squeeze, you will see a couple of settings like if the color is red and down, it means the negative momentum is solid. If the color is negative and meaning the yellow and up, it means the negative momentum is losing momentum and it's converting into bullish. If the color is sky blue and up, it means it's positive. If it is dark blue and up, it means the positive momentum is cooling off. Now you need to check this only and only when you have a green dot. If you have a red dot, it means it is squeezing and there's no point entering into a trade. So whenever there is a good red dots here, again, I will explain this in much more details later on. But if you have red dots here on this chart, avoid it. Then I have my DMI. It's a normal DMI in which I'm using DY, DI, and ADX. I'm using for positive the green, negative the red, and ADX, which is the strength of this move, into the black color. And I'm using it for the last 14 candles. By default, what is there? Only thing which I've changed is the colors. And last one is the average volume. Now, again, this is shown based on the last 30-day average. Sell volume is red, buy volume is green. So whenever you see green, it means there was much more on the buying side as compared to the selling side. So this also helps you that yes, whether the momentum in today's stock is good and is backed up by a good volume. So these are the few indicators which I use in combination to my 1234 and my Fibonacci series with regression pattern. So let's go to ES first, and let's see how we can evaluate these 5 or 6 indicators together in terms of understanding. All right, so first let me just change my candles to normal candles. So you are aware of my Fibonacci and my regression channel. So I'm not going to delve into that too much, but if you are not aware of it, you can go back and then you can look into the education section on my YouTube and you will find how to set them up. They're very straightforward, very simple. Now, the important things which you want to discuss is uh, the TTM and the flags or the clouds you want to say from Ripsters. So what I usually do is I start my trend from the 12 and 34 and from my levels. So 12 and 34 clearly tells me that yes, the momentum is positive. So the one basic principle which I always say that the candles and the EMAs love each other. So whenever the candles are away from the 12 EMA, I try to wait. But whenever they are next to the EMA or close to the EMA, especially 12 in a positive momentum, that's a very good entry. Now you can get a confirmation by looking at the TTM squeeze as well as looking at the uh, DMI. Now here you can see, let's take an example of this side, this piece. Okay. Now here the 12 EMA is right there. It tested almost and then bounced. Now here you will see that the green, or you can say the sign color is there with a green dot, and the ADX is still all right. It's about 50 points and the green momentum is there. So it's good to add here at this point. Now you can add here. Again, this is a daily. So in this strategy, your goal is that every time there is a dip, our goal is to buy onto that dip. So here, if you entered, it shows, yes, we have to go long. So maybe you entered here, maybe you entered here, you held long and everything is telling you to hold long. It gives you a few more points. And then on third day, it's still telling you to hold because it has not turned into the dark blue. But on the third or fourth candle, it is telling you now it's time to get out of the long position. And that's why you see in this box where we have 6 or 7 days, if you try it long, you will be losing premium on your options. Because the blue line, which is the TTM squeeze line, is losing the positive momentum. There's no sense to go long whenever you see a dark blue line. Similarly here, the green line and the sky blue line, the sign line started to come or emerge, which is right here. Again, it comes on a back test of 12 EMA. Ignore my lines. I'm just making it like curvy, but they must be straight. So if you see, it is telling me to go long. So if I go long here, first, it's a confirmation of a back test of 12 EMA, which is good. Second thing, the green line momentum is up. The red line momentum is down and the ADX is starting to curl up. It was at the bottom, but it has started to curl up. And recently it is right here. So it is very, very strong. So if you went long here and you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 candle, it is telling you to hold your position. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 candle, you may not see the top, but you had 6 candles back to back telling you stay in your position, stay long, and you will make money. So that is how you are going to use the 12 EMA with the TTM squeeze. Now, the average volume, it gives you that whenever you have strength, the volume will be or should be higher than the average volume. So in this case, the volume was higher, the volume was higher, the volume was higher, the volume was higher. And whenever there was a dark blue line, the volume comes down. It means that there is no interest in selling as of now. And if you see in the last 4 or 5 days here, outside of Friday, we had half days and something. So the volume was really, really down. But the market was in a range and then it just went higher. But it is at the top. Second thing, the volume was less. So we need to be a little careful and we are away from the 12 EMA. So we need to be a little careful that yes, is it making sense to add new longs here? Or should we wait a little so that it can do a back test and then we can enter again on a position on ES. All right. So this was a normal chart based on this understanding. Now, how would you do a back testing for this? And any questions here? Hi, RGB. Hi, Ashok. Hi, Warwick. Hi, Vani. So guys, if you have any questions, do let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer before I jump into the back testing aspect of it. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, the architect. I am looking at my... Okay, if nobody has any questions, I can continue. So this was based on the hindsight. I will do that, Venkatesh. So right now, this was based on, this is recent. This is not like later on. This is recent. RGB, I trade sometimes futures, commodities, and mostly options. So here, I will now do a back testing. So this is a strategy you know that how would you need to enter on a daily time frame. Now, if you have to do a back test, you click on demand. Okay. Now on demand, you can go back. Now this is the last date, which is June of 10th. Now we need to go and move forward. Okay, come on. It's a little slow. Let me change it to third. Okay. So this was the day, not even day. Let's try this one. This was the day when we were testing. This is 5/14. So May of 14. Go. So the very first thing you need to test is you need to choose from where you want to test your strategy. So now right here, it is telling me that yes, 5/13, if I can enter on 5/198, which is like, again, this is going per second. So we'll move pretty quickly on this. So this is 9:30 of 14th May. Now, our goal was that this is telling us that the momentum is strong. The green and up is there. If we can enter at around 12 EMA, that will be a very good indicator of this. And in between, you will see that yes, the market is moving and reacting. but what is the decision you need to make? So I'm going to wait and see if it comes around 12 EMA. And if it does, I need to enter into the day. So let's see how it moves. So I'm moving just 10 minutes in the day, and it's 12:20 and we are still away from the 12 EMA. So it has not given us any entry which you were expecting. So let's see. And the market is still in the same range. You can see the time, it's almost 3 hours and we are in the same range. It's a little slow because you're actually uh, asking for the historical data. And right here, it's starting to build up the momentum. And this was, I think at that time it was June future, so it's not showing us the levels properly. But assuming that this is the entry, okay, so you can go and test what will happen into next 1 hour, 10 minutes, half an hour, 2 hour, and then you can proceed. So imagine you entered here. Now, based on this understanding, the momentum is positive, which is the 12 EMA is above 34 EMA. And if you're using Ripster cloud, it is a very good entry because the green clouds are above the red clouds, which is like 5 and 9 and 8 and 9. 8 and 9 is the middle line, 5 is the top one, and 12 is the lower one. Okay, so keep in mind that if you're using that. In this case, 20 and 21 are the middle lines. The higher one is 34, and the lower one was 50, I think, the lower day. So all these averages are there. If green and blue are up, it means a positive momentum. If blue and red are there, it means it's a negative momentum visually. Okay, now based on this, if you enter, now you can see this is the precondition first that yes, this is green and sky blue. Yes. Second condition was 12 and 34 is up. Good. It is near the 12 EMA. Good. And the EMAs or the DMI is a little sluggish, but not bearish. So if it gives me good indicator, I want to go long here. So if you go long here and do not exit unless this changes. So now let's move and add time to this. So let's go to 15th. It's going to take a little minute to jump there. I do not do scalping, Burbeck, so I have no idea about scalping is for the people who can actually spend time right in the front of the screen. I do not have that ability. So 15th May has not come yet. Let's refresh it. It's not reflecting the data yet. This chart needs to get updated. Right now it's stuck on 14th. We should see 15th. Let me reset time. So if we go back to normal, this was 514. The chart is still stuck. Let me just change the chart to NQ and then ES. And that's what has done a real problem. Schwab has like taken a tool on ThinkorSwim. Otherwise, this was a really good tool. It was very quick to do on-demand testing and everything. In between the charts comes out. I also use these uh, custom columns, which is for high Kenichi trends. So I can easily see them on my uh, phone. So I can actually check whether there is a crossover, because if I am not able to see the chart, I can see the crossovers, look at the trends of high Kenichi candle, and I just have a count of the last high Kenichi candles. If the count is green and there, it means I need to stay into my position. If I am long, if the count is red and I'm short, I need to stay in my position. So it gives me very good indication about the data. Still taking time. So on intraday basis, I use 15 minutes. And for day time frames, I use I'm not doing any sheet trader 135. I think there's some issue in ThinkorSwim. Let me just log off and log in. I also use Blackbox as my secondary tool to validate if there is a change or if there is something which is like open interest increase happening, and that builds into my confidence that yes, there's a chart, there's a level, the EMAs, the TTM squeeze, and then the open interest change in uh, the options. That gives me a lot of confidence. And I'll show you one more thing which you can use when you're doing options, is to look at the PCR value of a particular equity or a ETF. If PCR is uh, above 1, it means puts are being bought. If PCR is less than 1, it means calls are being or puts are being bought and calls are being sold. In between, guys, like by the time ThinkorSwim sets up, if you have any further questions, please feel free to ask on the chat. I will do that later in the night, Architect, at around 10:15. Right now, I just wanted to do this small piece where we can actually understand how to set it up, ThinkorSwim, and do a back testing. Again, like this is so ridiculous that ThinkorSwim has gone down so slow as compared to what it was before Schwab took it over. This is not a scanner. This is the column. If you look into my uh, uh, tweets or into my profile under highlights, you will find the code for them. I'll show you how to set them up. Okay, so we are back here. So you know how to set up the on demand to do the back testing. So we were here on 514, right here. This was the candle. And this was telling us go long. At that time, this was the biggest candle, and it was like, wow, we are already there and the momentum is negative. What should we do? But it was telling us to remain long. So if you enter here, it was around 5,300, and it is telling you to exit around 5,350. Oh, 5,400. That's about 100-point move. Now, if you practice something similar and you are confident that yes, if I have these four preconditions, 12 and 34, 12 is greater than 34, the TTM squeeze is blue, the DMI is showing me green, and if there's an additional open interest long, and I can get 100 points in 3 days, try that maybe for one lot, two lot, and you will see the difference in your profits. Similarly, if you're on the short side, repeat the same process, look for the reds, and see if you can get the same count of profit. The idea is if you have 12 and 34 for long, it should be 34 greater than 12 on the short side, then the blue should not be there. It should be red and green, and the open interest on the put side is increasing. If that happens, it means you need to go short. Now let's also take an example of AMD recently. AMD has started moving, or let's say Tesla. So Tesla, you can see that it was squeezing, 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 squeezing. There was no yellow, green, up, down. It was just squeezing into the reds, reds, reds. And right here on 626, look at the setup now. The green line was building up. The ADX was building up. The momentum was building up. And it was well before the big move. Okay. The black line was ending here and the red line was losing negative. And this was the first day when the volume was getting higher. So the moment it crossed 190, it was the confirmation that yes, you need to stay long. If you stay long, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, boom, you're right there. Now you may not go all the way, but even if you stayed for 2 days, 3 days, you would have made good money. All right. Again, the same thing, you can do the back testing by entering to the same position, and you can do the back testing based on your time frame as well. Also, let's look at AMD. Now we can also figure out, look at the AMD. AMD is squeezing. You can see red, 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 red. But the green line is getting higher. Friday, it closed at 171. So we entered into AMD at 166. We exited at 174, which was right around this corner. Now it is telling me red, 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 that there is a green which is coming. The momentum is turning bullish. The DMI is like negative to neutral now. And the range is right there. The volume is getting higher. So if we get a push on AMD, just hold those positions. Hold those positions, and then it will run. Once it clears 181, you will see 207 to 223 in just matter of few days. Okay. So AMD is a TTM squeeze, really high potential, setting up for a very big move. If you enter here, don't miss it. Let's look at the SMCI. SMCI is squeezing, right? It's not red, but there's no, I will say, histograms on the top or at the bottom. So it's getting ready. It's getting ready. And the moment we clear 866, it will simply go to 975 and 1065 this time. So two stocks, AMD and one SMCI, they are getting ready. Similarly, you can also build a scan based on TTM squeeze where you can see which stocks are, like you can go here. Let's try. I do not have that scan, so let's build it together. Add a filter. Let's go to the study. Let's look at CC scan, TTM squeeze scan. It's there by default on the day. And let's do a scan. You can do a scan on all the symbols. You can do a scan in your own set of tickers. So I'm using my own watch list, and let's do a scan. So right now, Neo and Expedia, they are squeezing on the TTM scan. So let's look at Expedia. So this is not showing what I want to see, but it is just showing me that the scan is like red. I wanted like more reds. So similarly, even in Neo, it will show red. It has turned red. But we want to see when we have multiple reds. So I will manipulate this code to figure out how we can do the more reds, and then we can do the squeeze. Okay, as for custom columns, this sheet, you can go to customize. There are many free columns which are available. You can use them, and add a code. The code will be something like this. Like, it's a very simple code which I've written. It's an aggregation period, define high open, low close, and just display them in the color in the count. This you can find in the highlights of my profile, and you can use it. So again, I'll be doing the full-fledged weekly analysis in the night at 10:15. But as of now, the idea was just to cover the ThinkorSwim setup plus a back testing. Any questions on this? If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer. If not, I'll be uh, shutting off for now and we'll connect at 10:15, 10:30 tonight. All right, guys. I don't see anybody has any questions. Thank you for joining in. Wait for 10:15 and we'll do the weekly analysis because I really want to see Hang Seng open up and how the Hang Seng, because I have positions in Baidu. So I want to see and then I'll trade. All right. Thank for joining in. Angels, I will do that in the night at. I do not have the banana trader setup. I have no idea. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Take care.